to part 3 of Grow Plan Live's ASMR gardening series, What's New in Seeds. So today we've moved on from our paper seed catalog and we're looking at the online catalogs. So grab a snack and settle in while we explore what's new and what's interesting in seeds together. So our first site is going to be Plant and Heal. This site not only has seeds, but it also has live plants. Is one thing I love about them. The founder, I believe, is an horticulturalist or a plant expert, if I'm not mistaken. And they sell a wide variety of seeds. As you see here, you see nasturtiums and strawberry seeds. One thing that they sell is they sell the strawberry vines here. And she actually had a sale on these, I think, toward the end of the year. So depending on when you watch this, if you're near maybe around the last quarter of the year, there may be a sale on the strawberry vines for the upcoming year. You can grow strawberries from seed, but I believe, like a lot of things, it's easier if you can get the vines and grow them from there, just to kind of give you a head start. And look here, one of the things she specializes is in soursop trees. She has different kinds and they have different prices depending on the level of tree, because you can buy one. This one's about $1. She's got bigger soursop trees that cost more. A lot of them are sold out. A lot of people are using soursop for the reported or purported health benefits. Know that, of course, it's a tropical plant, so you'll need to be in zones 9 to 11 for this to grow properly. I will say this, though. I'm in zone 8. And, I'm looking into seeing if there's a workaround here. I know once the tree gets to a certain height, it's going to be kind of difficult probably to actually, be able to maintain it. But try to see if there's a workaround for people that are in zone 8 that are just below that threshold for temperature to keep these going, because these soursop plants are supposed to have some amazing health benefits. Again, as we look at here, she's got some different things. She's actually has a live banana tree that you can buy. Once again, this is probably going to be something that you have to have a certain zone to grow this in. Also, looks like, they're looking at going to ship, I should say, with the weather being over a certain temperature. So looks like, that's something else. But like I said, she's got both trees and seeds. You can get a mix of seeds. Here's a brassica variety mix. So there's a lot of different mixes that you can get out here on the website. She's got the standard things. She's got cassava and yucca plants also. So she's got some unique things that you don't see on other websites, but she's also got some things that we do see on a lot of our websites. So next up, let's go to UJAMAA Seeds, and you've heard me mentioning them before. UJAMAA is a company that I have shopped, and I can say, shipping was reliable and on time, just like all the other companies I've used before. One thing I love about UJAMAA is that you can sort their seeds by cultural cuisine. So as you see here, you have the African garden, and it literally brings up the continent of Africa and gives you a background on some of the traditional crops like okra, yam, black-eyed peas, cassava, things of that nature. And so once you do scroll to this area, then you scroll down and it's got these seeds sorted by the area, the continent here. And I always thought that was really cool. It's if you really are trying to make a dish that's tailored toward a certain culture, this is kind of a shortcut that you can come out here and look for those seeds that are of that culture. A lot of the things that we see on other sites like the Charleston gray watermelon, a lot of those are tied to the continent of Africa. A lot of these tomatoes, the gherkin, Jamaican bird gherkin cucumber, this sorghum. Here's a special kind of sorghum. I talked about sorghum, about it being something that I recently found out that I can grow myself. So that is something I'm going to be moving toward, as far as when I'm baking things. I'm definitely looking at getting more sorghum and things of that nature. So this is just very interesting. And they give you a background. Also, they give you a growing guide. So if you're saying, how do I grow these plants? What's the best method to deal with these plants? They're going to give you the growing guide to tell you how to plant it, how to sow it. It looks like it's similar to corn, and corn is wind pollinated. So that's a good thing to know, because you'll want to plant them in blocks then if they're going to be planted like corn. And then they have a herb and medicinal section also, where they've got things that are already pre-made, or you can actually buy the actual herbs like the hibiscus, the sage, the Italian flatleaf, the borage. You can buy different kinds of sweet bay and lemon balm, lavender. The lavender sold out right now. Bee balm is sold out, but they've got certain things. And then I'm sure you can probably also contact them to see when things will be in stock. If you're interested in paper catalogs, because you just like, having that physical catalog to take with you when you're, out and about, they do have them, but you have to pay a fee to get the physical catalog. Okay, now let's move on to Sistah Seeds. Okay, so Sistah Seeds is another website here, and out here, I'm not sure if they just didn't update this to 2026 or if this is 2025, but they're featuring some of their newer seeds out here. They've got this Puna Kira cucumber I've seen before. Such an interesting cucumber because it looks like a potato, like a russet potato on the outside. But you can see once they actually cut into it, it looks like a traditional cucumber. I will be trying this one just because I like the way it looks and it looks different. I've got a feeling it's going to taste probably the same, but I like trying different things just to see the product that comes about as a result. They've got this Moya mincing tomato also, and let's see. This one is an heirloom that was introduced by William Woys Weaver, and he got them from Miss M.J. Grooms, an African-American woman in Philadelphia, and she got them from her great-grandfather, who actually worked in a penitentiary as a cook in the kitchen, and he got those from some incarcerated workers at a prison garden. So these grow pretty big. These grow about 3 inches wide, and you can use them for fresh eating and canning. I mentioned germination rates on a previous video, and here's an example here. The germination rate has to be 88% on these. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them will be in the 80 something percentile range. So, if you get these seeds and they don't do that, let them know, because there's like a legal threshold on seeds in the US as far as how the germination rate goes. They also have the Sierra Leone rib tomato. I love these kind of tomatoes. They're just gorgeous to me with the ribs, and I sometimes call them pleats. This one is good for stuffing, roasting, sauce, and freezing, and it's got an even higher germination rate on this one. Okay, so they've got amaranth, and they've got a different kind of eggplant here. I've never heard of this particular eggplant. It's called Liberian Kitley, and it's just like a round eggplant. It's called the pea eggplant. It's got a bitter flavor, so that's interesting. So, it sounds like if it's got a bitter flavor, it's something that I would incorporate into another dish, as opposed to normally with eggplant, and I do cook eggplant pretty regularly. Normally I roast them in the stove, and if you do a little salt on them, that's going to help them get crispy and they turn out great. But these with a bitter flavor, these would be something I would put into another dish, like a casserole or something, and it says you can mix them into a stew. So that would be something because of the flavor. But I love trying different things, especially when we have a certain picture of what a plant should be. Normally our eggplant are going to be oblong, and they're going to be dark purple, almost black. So to see one that's green like this, I love trying these different varieties. As far as more in the new section, they've got a piri piri pepper here. West Park Bird's Eye, and it's a South African heirloom. It's intensely hot. So you all know how I feel about hot peppers with my celiac, but a lot of you all absolutely love and adore hot peppers. So if you do, this might be the one for you. And of course it says this one is used like its namesake to make piri piri sauce. So this is one, if you like to bottle your peppers at home, that is one for you. I can already tell this Trinidad seasoning pepper is hot. I've learned over time that now this, it says this one has almost no heat. Okay. Oh, now, okay. Now this makes sense, because I was about to say, normally I've learned over time in these catalogs, and even if they're online or paper, if you see a pepper that's like shriveled up and kind of caved in, that normally means there's a heat there. There's a heat quotient there normally. Okay. It says they're similar in appearance to hot peppers. Okay. That makes sense. But this one has almost no heat. Okay. So now one thing I will say, the germination rate on this one is a lot lower. I'm not sure why, but it's only 65%. But this is the Trinidad seasoning pepper. Okay. So it looks like, as its namesake says, you would grind it up, I guess, at some point, and then make some type of seasoning. I guess if you're trying to move toward things that are low sodium or salt free, this may be an option, especially if you're not, needing the heat quotient part of it for your different recipes. Here's something different that I've not seen other places. It's called the honey bean. Iwa Aloyan. They're Yoruba, and they're a staple variety of cowpea from Nigeria. They're sweet, light sweet, and creamy. They're various shades of light brown, and they're using a tomato sauce or bean fritters. Okay, now that sounds good, especially if I could figure out a gluten-free way to make a bean fritter, and also something called moi moi. I guess hopefully I'm saying that correctly. A bean pudding. So it's so funny, because as you go out here, you find out, different recipes, things I've never heard of that are tied specifically to these different crops. It's just fun for me and relaxing for me anyway to browse through these different sites and look at what they have available. Next up, we're looking at a company that's actually rebranded. It's going to be Mint to Grow, and it's MINT, the number 2 grow.com. They were previously known as Seed Mail Seed Co. So Seed Mail Seed Company. And so they have now rebranded. It looks like they may have a sale going on right now, end of season. And then they focus on heirlooms. One thing I like too about this website is they have focaccia recipes here. And this looks so good. Oh, this looks so good. And other recipes, there's a honey strawberry balsamic vinaigrette post out here. So check them out if you're looking for recipes on what to put with the seeds, once you actually get those seeds. So now let's kind of look at this heirloom seed section out here. She's got a lot of different varieties out here. Tomatoes. She's got another eggplant. It looks like the one we just saw. It's another round one out here. Let's see. And this one I think is actually different, even though it's round like the other one, because it's saying this one's actually slightly sweet. It's called Petch, Petch Siam. And so this is one that might be good if you want that same round eggplant without, the bitter issue of the other one. Depends on what you're trying to do. You may want a bitter flavor. A lot of times in nature, bitter flavors can be attributed to things that may actually have health benefits. So you might like the other one better. Okay. And she's got on here the days to maturity for this particular, with the 50 days here. That's really quick for a plant, I guess, because it's so small. And as we look out here, she's got Mizuna mustard greens out here. Let's see, she's got Japanese eggplant. She's got flowers. Mexican hat is actually sold out. She's got Azuki beans that are sold out. She's got jicama, and jicama is something that I don't see very often, but that she's got that out here. A lot of things are sold out. It's probably because of the prices, and it's a good price on a lot of these seeds at $2.99 price. She's got our Black Beauty that always does good, Black Beauty eggplant, and Rosa Bianca eggplant. Let's see, she's got tea blends also out here on the website, and the current one is sold out. She's got merch like apparel. Looks like there's a Patreon membership that you can join also, where you can get out here and looks like maybe recipes, which is really smart. Yeah, recipes and probably live tutorials, things of that nature, out on the Patreon. So back to the seed section. Let's see. She's got a corn section where she breaks down also the different types of corn you can get. She's got that strawberry popcorn. It's sold out right now. A lot of, actually looks like all her corn is sold out right now. But she's got the strawberry popcorn, the glass gems, some ones we've seen before. So this is a good all around site. If you just want to kind of, go into, searching for seeds and you kind of want recipes to support those new seeds that you find, check out Mint to Grow. Okay. And last but not least today, Truelove Seeds. And this is one, I'm not sure if it's BIPOC owned or not, or just BIPOC adjacent, but this is another one similar to UJAMAA or Sistah Seeds, where you can go out here and you can find seeds sorted by collections. So here's one of the African diaspora collection. And so just like the other site, things are already the callaloo and things are separate the Paul ropes and tomatoes. I hear great things about those all the time. And so you've got those different crops that have been sorted by the continent. In addition to the African diaspora collection, they also have the Arc of Taste collection, which I think is fantastic. Arc of Taste is like an award that certain heirlooms get for not only being heirloom seeds, but also having, of course, as the name says, great taste, great flavor. And it's sponsored by Slow Food USA, as it says here. And these are ones, like they say, if you're really looking for something that's going to taste great, the Aunt Lou's Underground Railroad tomato. This is one I've recently bought. I have not planted it yet, but that's one I'm looking forward to, because not only is it Arc of Taste, but it's got the great ribs and pleats on the tomatoes that I think are just gorgeous. They have ground cherries here. They have, of course, different kinds of peas here. And then I thought this was interesting, this green striped, I guess it's cushaw squash. It's known as a sweet potato pumpkin. It's mildly sweet and meaty, made as a pie filling for cushaw butter puddings, and simply roasted. You can just eat it roasted. Looks like they are going to grow 10 to 20 pounds, and they're going to be heat tolerant, and they're vine borer resistant. Oh my gosh, we just talked about companion planting and the vine borers and things you can do to get rid of them. This is a great one to try if you want the vine borer resistance. Of course, it's sold out. I mean, it makes plenty of sense why it would be sold out based on all the copy here. I mean, it sounds like a win-win-win. Germination rate is 98%, and that's fantastic. And it tells you exactly how to harvest it and how to plant it and how to keep the seeds. You can click here to be notified by email, so that's great. So you can get on the email list if you're interested in this green striped cushaw squash. Okay, they've also got the Long Island cheese pumpkin and some other great varieties here. Let's now look at Philadelphia collection. And so you got these different crops like fish peppers and things of that nature that are tied to Philadelphia. And I think that's amazing. Okay, so looking out here, you can also look at the farmers that supply Truelove. And it says that 30% of every seed packet goes back to the farmer that originally grew it, which is amazing. It's a great thing to know about the company, that not only are you supporting a company that's either BIPOC owned or BIPOC adjacent, but you're giving back. And you'll see on this site a diversity of farms, lots of diversity here with the farmers in all ethnicities. And this is great, all regions across the country and other places, lots of small farms being represented by Truelove Seeds. So I want to thank you for joining me today for part 3 of this ASMR series on what's new in seeds and what's interesting in seeds. As always, I invite you to join my school group. It's free and it's linked in the description. Also, I want to invite you, if you're looking for, once you get your seeds, what's the best way to grow them? Our seeds need food just like we do. So what's the best fertilizer? So if you want to find out what that fertilizer will be, pick up my free Ultimate Fertilizer Guide. It's linked in the description. And if you learned anything today and you want to keep up with what's new in seeds and what's new in other areas of gardening, just like and subscribe. And because I had so many different interesting sites I found in working on part 3, there will be a part 4. So I'll see you then. See you next time.